When the North American Indigenous Council invites 10,000 Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island to participate, watch, and enjoy the North American Indigenous Games and the many hosted cultural and social events, people will need information, direction, and assistance. They will need communication. Different groups of people require different types of information. What an athlete needs is different than what a volunteer needs, a coach different than a sponsor. How will you deliver your information to each of these groups? Sports SMS is the leader in North American sports text messaging, delivering your alerts and reminders to the right person, in the right place, and at the right time. Text messaging is the right choice for delivering information because it works on every cell phone, everywhere. There is no downloading and no Wi-Fi or data required. 96% of text messages are read within 4 minutes of receipt. Over 82% of adults text, making it the most commonly used cell phone activity. And it is free to receive text messages on your cell phone. There are several ways to subscribe for text messaging. One way is through an online page that we create and host. It can be branded for the Indigenous Games, and it can also be sponsored. From this page, anyone can subscribe for text messaging. It can be an athlete subscribing for one of their sports, or a coach, officials, family members, volunteers, game officials, or the general public. We can create this on one site, or we can create different sites so that the public has one registration page, game officials have their own private registration page, volunteers have their own private registration page, and the same is true for athletes, coaches, and family members. You can also subscribe directly from your mobile device. For example, text NAIG to 767638. The auto response you'll receive is "Thank you, NAIG, a multi-sport event involving Indigenous youth from Canada and the United States." There's a link to the website which is clickable, and we say that it's sponsored by Coach Canada. We can do the same thing in French. We can do this for athletes, the general public, volunteers, or any subgroup. We can have something for the general public, such as culture, celebrating Indigenous heritage and cultural distinctiveness. We can put the entire schedule here, or a specific link from the website can be included in the text. And again, we see that it's powered by a brand, in this case, Coca-Cola. Another way to have people subscribe is through your own registration process, where you collect a cell phone number. At the end of the process, export a list of cell phone numbers and their role using Excel, and we'll upload it into the platform. Volunteers go with volunteers, athletes with athletes, etc. And the last way to do it is you simply edit in the information yourself. Let's take a look at the platform next. Here we are at sportssms.ca. Let's log in. The first page you see is the Team Finder page. It's from here that you can send a text message to athletes, coaches, managers, sport officials, etc. If we click on athletes, all the athletes competing in the various disciplines appear. So if we wanted to send a text message to just athletes in 3D archery, we click it, click select, and that group now appears over here. We simply create a text message. We'll see here that the number of characters available were counted down from 138. We have 5 characters left. We also see that there is a red squiggle here, meaning that there's a spelling mistake, which we will fix. Now we can send that text message now, or we can schedule that message to be sent at a later time and date. Let's go back to Team Finder. So if we click on athletes again, if we needed to send a text message to all athletes, we simply click all. If we needed to send a text message to just badminton, canoe kayak, volleyball, we simply click them, highlight them, click select, click all. Now we can write our text message. We simply create message, we type it, we can send it now, or we can schedule it. The unique thing about this platform is it allows you to send a text message to any athlete, any group of athletes by their discipline. It can be sent live, or it can be sent at a later date. Let's go back to Team Finder. Using this platform or a separate and private platform, we can also send text messages to coaches and managers. And again, we can do it by discipline or by sport. Let's go back. We can also send a text message to sport officials by discipline and by sport. If you wanted to involve the family members and be able to text them about their child's event or about some cultural or social invitation, you simply can do the same thing. We click family members, click select. We can now send a text message to family members, to all family members, or to family members by sport. So if there's something special going on just for lacrosse, we can send a message just to the parents and family members of lacrosse players. Let's go back to Team Finder. Now we can do the same thing for volunteers. We can have volunteers subscribe by the event that they are volunteering in. So it can be any of the sports. We can also send a text message to the staff member who are in charge of volunteers. We can send text messages just to the team leaders. And if we have special volunteers, such as drivers or parking lot people or other categories, we can send a text message to that group. Let's go back to Team Finder again. We can also contact game officials, staff members, members of the public if we so enable that. And again, we can do it from this platform or from a different platform. So we can have one platform just for athletes and coaches, a separate platform just for volunteers, and perhaps a third platform just for the general public or for officials, depending upon what your requirements are. Other features of this platform are phone number search. From the phone number search, we can look up any partial or complete phone number, click search, and the system will return a complete list of all those phone numbers. Right now there's only one phone number in the system, happens to be mine, but right now it returned that phone number, and if we wanted to, we can send a text message just to that one person. We click send now, we get a confirmation that it's been sent, and we'll hear it arrive in my phone. There it is. It's very fast. Other features, from the groups list, we can see all the various groups that we've created. We can go in here and edit any group or edit any of the contacts within a group. We also have a message log which records every text message that has been sent, live text messages, as well as scheduled text messages, confirmation messages, and any response text messages. We also have an inbox. Any subscriber who has received a text message can reply to that text message. That text message reply will go into your inbox. Now, if it's a volunteer asking a question, you can respond to that volunteer and assist that volunteer and the people that he or she is helping. If it's an athlete or a family member or a member of the general public, all inquiries can be answered using this inbox platform. Another feature of the platform is the schedule editor. It's from here you'd be able to select any of the messages that have been scheduled, and you would be able to edit it or delete it. And then we'll go back to Team Finder. And there we have it. It's a very simple platform to use, and we can create multiple platforms so we can have specific people using the platform for specific reasons, or if you prefer, SMSNet and Sports SMS can manage the platform and all the communications for you. On behalf of myself, Rick O'Connor, and Sports SMS, thank you for listening.